Hello, everyone. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bossman, and I am joined this week by Michael Damiani.
How's it going?
Daniel Bloodworth.
Hello.
Brandon Jones.
Hi.
Ian Hink. And no one else. I was raising my voice. You're supposed to nail the Ian Hink. I was like, Ian Hink.
Ian Hink.
And trust me, there's no one else.
WNBC.
Yeah, well, like, I get that reference. What was that?
No, don't give him to him.
Okay. It's time for
Because
corrections.
he's snarky about it. You know what I mean? If you were just like, oh, what's that from?
Yeah, he's like, I know
If
that
you
one.
if you asked legitimately, if you were like, I'm curious to know what film that was from,
I'm
but you had
so
to do,
sick of
you had
all
to get
these
so
references.
upset. And
It's
someone's
always
like,
just, did you watch this on VHS in the 90s?
but
or
anyway,
not?
I was listening to this football podcast. And
I'm so sorry we have to be the cool kids with our references over here.
Begin corrections music, please.
Yeah.
This is up here now?
Dragon Ball
Yeah.
Z. Blah, blah, blah.
Loving it.
Oh, I got that one.
I think I missed all of the old.
Jones, did you pick this too? You picked this track? This is our new music?
Is it, what?
Okay.
We have new music for corrections?
Sure, dude.
Wait, we're doing corrections at the top. What's
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on?
I have
man.
no idea what's going on
I
anymore.
love it.
It's a new error.
Control did not rank in the NPD top 20 last week.
No.
Damn.
Yeah, I totally forgot. This is on me. I forgot. We talked about NPDs and never brought up Control.
Damn.
You wonder if we just assumed it was going to be like next month. Like, we didn't realize it was that month.
Yeah.
I think we're just, oh, it's next month.
Yeah. So Astral Chain was there for 2 days, got to top 10. Control didn't rank top 20.
Do we think there's going to be DLC or some
There is going
kind
to be
of...
DLC, yes.
Okay, good.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Something to come back.
This
and-
is the vile power of
Remind
wretched
people.
anime.
Well, I mean, there's a couple of other.
That was a
things-
very anime way to say that.
There's some things going on there though.
Okay.
I mean,
All
it's
right.
it's in a lot. It's the RTX cards. It was bundled in and given away.
That's true.
And 505 is not really a big physical game publisher.
It did not include digital sales for Control.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's like, I think there's a lot of stores that didn't even get like more than like pre-orders.
Okay.
So who knows?
We'll
I mean,
wait.
it probably didn't pre-order a
The-
lot at stores, but how many people pre-ordering at physical as much? You know?
Is the box art just the black with the triangle and the word?
Is it?
No,
There's a
it's
silhouette of the
Her
character,
face should be
right?
on it.
It's
Oh, she's on it.
Jessie,
Okay.
yeah. It's really cool.
I love the simplicity of the PS4 image. Just control.
Giorno Giovanna. Jones, Marvel Nemesis Rise of the Imperfects also has a claw button for Wolverine.
Cool.
I thought that was cool too.
Yeah, I never played that.
Yeah. Neither did I. I'll tell you, I was out at the game store with my friend, and around the same time, X-Men Legends came out. And it was actually between those two games. I was on the Imperfect side. I was like, we got to get Imperfect.
Oh, dear.
He was on the Legends side. Legends was the right choice. It's the one we went with.
Good.
And I heard that for a very long time.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Deservedly so.
Destiny is the other X-Men game I haven't played. Right? X-Men
Cool.
Destiny.
I played that and I like it.
Okay.
That game's fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's fun. Jones, this is one from 2 weeks ago that I like totally forgot about, and then like over the weekend I was like, oh yeah, that was a fun comment. So this is for you from 2 weeks ago from James Kennedy. The game Brandon was talking about wasn't a Breath of Fire title. It is Phantasy Star 3: Generations of Doom that has the lineage mechanic. The hero who you play as in the different sections of the game would be determined by who you married throughout the course of your previous character's quest. There are 3 generations in the game. Cool. It is generally considered to be a black sheep of the franchise, and it is definitely a step backwards in many regards, but it did some pretty ambitious things.
Cool.
And corrections music, please.
Black sheep.
Black sheep.
Tommy Boy.
Thank you. So, do y'all remember my favorite way to start a podcast?
Game announcement?
Yeah, so we got 2 that I think are of equal caliber.
Nah.
If I had to, it'd be a coin
Whoa.
toss of which one to start with. So I'm going to ask the panel, what do you want to kick off with here? Do you want to kick off with a Total War Saga, Troy, or Terminator Resistance?
Damiani seems like just pumped for Troy. Like you were just...
You want to kick off with Troy?
Just
I think so. Like you...
Just that movie, for whatever reason, when it came out, there were just, in the group of circle I ran with, a lot of memes, like inside jokes about it, and it just stuck with me.
Brad Pitt is solid in that film. Brad
It's
Pitt's
a
really
fun
good,
blast.
and Peter O'Toole, fascinating performance from him. I was joking earlier
Fascinating
before the
performance.
podcast, and nobody told him it was a bad movie. Like, and he showed up being like, oh, we're doing Troy, and it's like, no, Eric Bana's in this. We're not. No, it's not it's not that.
Nobody knows you're making a bad movie. I think, right?
They're like, this is our.
There's
Gladiator.
no way to know. Yeah.
This is gonna be big.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and still pretty impressive visually, actually. There's some good performances in that movie. It's a fairly epic film, and the first fight that Brad Pitt has in that movie is so good. None of this pertains to the game at all.
No, it does not.
Yeah. Well,
but it's a famous, it's a very famous story. The face that launched 1,000 ships, right? And all that.
Yes.
Temple of
Helena,
Delphi?
right?
Yeah.
Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Heck yeah, dude.
Troy.
So this is, of course, Creative Assembly again. So I had to we're just talking 4X again, and you know how much I love talking about 4X on this podcast. Not very much. But these things keep coming. And I love this. It's inspired by Homer's Iliad, of course. Troy will let you forge a heroic legacy in the late Bronze Age, the furthest back in time the critically acclaimed franchise has ever traveled. So we're looking at the basest form of battle in a Total War game. 2020, coming to Steam, of course. So I was trying to figure out what a Total War story means. A Total War Saga. That's the first title of this, Troy. And this is basically their offshoots where they try out new things. And so with Troy, they're going to be trying out some new stuff. They say it'll definitely have the length and quality of a regular Total War game, but they're going to be weird with it, as opposed to saying Total War 4.
Yeah. I wonder if this isn't just because I know what, some stories over other stories, where when you bring up Three Kingdoms, it's like, oh, that's cool. I'm actually kind of interested to get more into the lore of these characters and what happened historically and what you're making up. Whereas you bring up Troy, it's like, I kind of know that story beat for beat for beat. So I wonder how much freedom I'm going to have in this game, or whether it's like, no, this is the Trojan horse part.
Yeah.
Where you do that.
Very curious
it's not
about
like,
that, yeah.
no, I'm going to skip the horse and just, throw ropes over, try to get in there.
Or you can deny the horse. Or you're like, no, thanks. I don't think so.
Paradox.
I don't want that.
Or it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like they all look at it like, huh?
I just want to see it go horribly wrong. Yeah.
You got to build up like a deception meter or something for it to work.
Maybe you can make a Trojan giraffe.
Yes, you can pick your animal.
And then it just doesn't get through the gates. It just the poor neck flops off.
We should have seen that
It's
coming.
not 4X though, right?
I don't know. It's a strategy game, right?
Yeah, it's a real-time strategy
Yeah,
game.
it's not a 4X game.
Oh, boy.
They have a big party and light it on fire.
I want to thank Bloodworth for calling me out on that, because I don't have to read a single comment about 4X.
Nice.
Thank you.
Oh, they'll comment before they hear
I
my
know.
comment.
I'm already
The
hearing
comments are there.
They'll stop. They'll pause, start typing.
Yeah, I think it's neat to just straight out say, hey, this is our weird line. This is where we do our weird stuff.
But it does seem in line with Three Kingdoms, because they did focus on boss fights. They talked a lot about the fighting choreography that they had. And so you can see these, two little dudes in Three Kingdoms fighting, but if you zoom in, it's two mocapped people fighting.
Yeah.
And so, with the trailer having this big, epic, very famous fight that happened, it's interesting to see how that's going to play in, or if that's going to have any significance, if you're really going to be Hector might, he might pull it off. We'll see.
Did they talk about hero characters or anything like that?
No, so that's what that was new to Three Kingdoms, was the alternate mode where you can have hero characters. I bet this game's going to have the heroes too.
Yeah.
I bet they'll keep
The
going.
trailer pretty much sold that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, Three Kingdoms is a lot I want to focus on this character. I want to bring this person in. Where Troy's are you going to have that choice, or is it going to be no? Obviously, Achilles is
I liked the pottery.
the leader of my troop.
Did you like that part of the trailer, the pottery?
The Potter. Yeah, it was a little too quick. It's the kind of thing where it's just pacing is so important in trailers.
Sure.
And whenever it would do the wipe and be the pottery, I'd be right, because it's that scene. And cut. I got it visually. I got they would hold and be the pottery. They're fighting on the pot. It's I got.
Jones, it's been too long since we've had trailer talk. I miss this stuff. That's good.
It's been a couple months. I'm excited to get back.
So the other new game that we teased is Terminator Resistance. That is a crazy game. This was just announced today. This is coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox One. This is a first-person shooter that takes place in the... I'll take their words. You know what? I'll just describe it just as I did with Total War. I'll use their words. All right. So, it's a first-person shooter set during the future war scenario that was only glimpsed at in the iconic films from James Cameron, The Terminator, and T2 Judgment Day.
No, there's a whole movie that takes place in the future. Stop.
Yeah. So, Reef Entertainment is the publisher. Taeon developing this. So,
Wow.
What's up?
I'm not familiar with those names.
Salvation's a slightly alternate version.
It's a movie I saw.
But that absolutely looks nothing like T1 and T2's Future Wars.
Sure,
part.
yes, yes.
Yeah. This kind of
Right.
has the iconic stuff that looks like it.
But will it be longer than 3 hours?
It
Right.
might be a little longer than 3
Is that
hours.
the
So
last
Blood.
game?
Remember the one
Yeah.
that I reviewed on like PS3 or 360, and like we got the
You
game
beat it,
in,
and we're like,
and like
what?
before the end of the workday, I'm like, I'm done. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll write the review now.
It was like Spore. You're just like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
Like, I guess I'm finished.
Bloodworth, do you remember the Rambo game during the 360 PS3
I never
generation?
actually saw it.
So it's
I know
like
it
an
came out.
on-rails shooter. It's
Yeah.
it's like maybe more like a Virtual Cop, right? But you're just kind of going through areas. This is that publisher's last original game.
Huh.
So they went from that in 2014 to this.
They like making movie games. I
Yeah,
guess.
too bad it wasn't
Yes.
the arcade Rambo game, which is really good.
Is it? Is that top down?
It's like no, it's like
Light
a
gun?
shooter, yeah.
Oh, sick.
With like awesome looking. Like,
I don't think I've ever seen
toy
that.
guns. Yeah.
So anyway, we can't say this is a prestigious publisher, prestigious developer. Game's coming to Europe November 15th, U.S., North America, excuse me, December 3rd this year. So they announced it, and it's coming out very, very soon.
Right.
Oh yeah.
The trailer has an apparent quality to it, I would say,
Sure.
which
And
is
a-
to
which
say,
is
What is apparent about the quality?
it's like, hey, we're just trying to make a 7 here. We're just trying to have a fun time, right?
Yeah.
Do you also get the impression of that? or
No,
do
I
you-
mean, we're just trying to have a fun time. I don't get that vibe from the trailer at all. That vibe is like, you're in the resistance.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. That's
Okay.
a horrible, horrible play.
Well,
To
you
be like-
said don't tease or
to
something,
be like,
right?
you're going to play Terminator because you're super into this story, right? It's like, no, I'm into watching these things fight. I'm
And
into
they showed that?
I'm into the intensity. Well, they show you as a character that I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not fun. I think if you're like, again, like you said with Sevens, if we're just like, hey, we just made a Terminator game, we got the music in the trailer, maybe it's in there, maybe you'll bump into some characters, maybe we got an Arnold sound alike, man, I don't know, it's a Terminator game, just jump in and have fun. I would kind of respect a trailer if it did that, if it was just like, hey, Terminator, just have fun. But it's like, it's very much like, this is a piece of the grand narrative structure that has been done so smoothly up until now.
Yeah.
know?
I'm for some reason really excited. I'd almost want to give it a Pop-Tart right now because this studio locked down the rights to Terminator 1 and 2, right? This is an officially licensed game, as they like to brag about. But for some reason, they didn't make it about the events of Terminator 1 and 2. They said, let's make it about the future that's hinted at within these two movies. Mm-hmm. I believe this game comes from a place of passion.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there are just a lot of people out there who are Terminator fans who just want to see a good take on that future war. Just,
If the trailer had said, "What if Terminator 3 never happened?"
Yeah.
It's like, and now we're talking.
It's kind of what it is. Kind of what it is.
Well, they
Yeah.
should say that.
Yeah.
Like, I just think they should be more self-aware about the license and not, it's
Oh, the
they're
Terminator-
like teasing some sort of ending or something, some story beat that is like not going to be satisfying or relevant, or we're going to remember in 2 years. Like,
Sure.
Isn't there like a Terminator light gun game too that takes place around the time?
Oh yeah, there's
the arcade game?
T2 to arcade
Yeah.
game, which
Oh,
is
the
I
old-
still like my
no,
favorite
man, that's-
Terminator
that's a
game.
game.
Yeah.
That's a game, and
That's a
it was
game.
like great. And trying to see people try and recapture some semblance of that feeling you had playing
Yeah.
that game hasn't really happened, I think, honestly.
Yeah.
It sounds like this game, you said this was a few years ago they secured this. It sounds like this
Yes.
came after Genesis, or not Genesis, Salvation or whatever,
When is Salvation? When did that movie come out?
like 2010?
It seems
Oh,
like it's
okay.
gotta
So
be around
definitely
that time,
after
yeah.
Salvation. Yes.
Which I think was
Yeah.
a low point because
Yeah.
I didn't do well, and everyone's like, "What do we do with Terminator? Like
Yeah.
this didn't work out."
I also think just tonally, like, there's a lot of ass kicking in the trailer, which I know for FPS fans, like, seems like something you would just immediately put in every action game. But like, to me, those glimpses that they said that you get in the beginning of Terminator 1 and Terminator 2 are terrifying. Like, you see, like, they intentionally show you like a human skull, and then it's like, we get screwed, we lose this fight. Like, these people's lives suck. Like, this is hard. And in like the trailers just I don't know, it doesn't necessarily cover like, this is scary. This is kind of a horror experience. Like, these things are intimidating. Like, it'd be interesting to see one like grab you or something and like a death screen or
You
something.
do
know?
spend a lot of time in the trailer crawling around. You spend a lot of time.
There's
on
a
the
lot of
ground for
interaction
some
too,
reason.
just like walking
That-
through the
that
base.
actually-
Like,
yeah.
just none of that really
That's
interests
an
me.
interesting concept right there, making a Terminator game that'd be closer
Making
to
Isolation?
Alien Isolation.
Oh,
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
yeah.
Our crack researcher Ian Hink has reported that it was 2009 when Terminator Salvation came out.
Nice.
Thank you, Ian.
I do dig a licensed game. I miss these. Like, this
Yes,
was the
exactly,
360 PS3 era is when like this ended really. Just this idea that like we'd get like the B movie game and like it's like there were just some properties you just knew were gonna have to do something interactive, whether it was
Pacific
gonna
Rim
be
got
good or not.
unlisted. Yeah, it had a game. Yeah, yeah.
So Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
this
down.
feels like a game that will be delisted after a few years.
It does.
Yeah, it'll be
And this
gone.
feels like
It'll-
play it in those
this
first
will
couple
vanish.
years. Yeah.
If it has the T2 music, that's pretty cool. A lot of Terminator games
a
don't.
mix of it.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, they're probably rushing it out to get it out at the right time.
Yeah.
The new upcoming Terminator movie that has nothing to do with.
Absolutely.
Probably zero collaboration there, despite dropping James Cameron's name.
I'm curious which one I'll enjoy more.
Ooh, that's,
movie or this
that's a
game?
good thing.
Yeah. All right. Pat. All right. Which do you think you'll enjoy more, the new Terminator movie or this Terminator game, Jones?
I think I'll probably enjoy the movie more because of Linda Hamilton.
I'll go with the game.
Damiani.
I think I'll enjoy the film more.
I'll go game. Ian, break this tie.
I mean, I don't imagine I'll play the game.
Uh-huh.
So movie.
Okay.
Safe answer. Safe answer.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah. Those are two fun announcements. Not two huge things, but hey, we're keeping our streak of starting the podcast with a game announcement going.
Nice.
I'm happy to do it. Okay. This week's news story is a wild, wild one. It's so strange. So I got to give credit, first of all, to Chris Brown, who wrote in True Love and Respect and was like, hey, what do you think of this story? And so I clicked on it, linked, like I'd seen the headline earlier this week, but then I read through the article and I'm like, oh, this is this week's podcast. This is juicy, weird stuff. So where do I start this one off with? GameDaily.biz had a big scoop. Mike Futter wrote this article. Here's their headline. E3 2020 pitch proposes overhaul with Qtainment, that's spelled like Q as in a line, like when you're waiting in line, Qtainment, new floor plan, industry only day, exclusive. So somehow Game Daily, sorry, I said that wrong, didn't I? Game Daily, it's just one game. Game Daily got this leaked PowerPoint presentation that the ESA was internally using to pitch to all of the people who give them money. And so it's not like this is what is going to happen with E3 this year, but this is the ESA's intent for E3 2020. And it is crazy to see this stuff, to have this perspective on things. Let me hit the major bullet points first, and we'll discuss each of these. But eventually, I'm just going to start reading some slides because it's the funnest, grimiest stuff you could ever munch on. Okay, so firstly, they want to do 10,000 extra public passes. They want to do this same 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. However, Tuesday would be exclusively for press, industry, celebrities.
Eh?
Eh?
They're
start.
singing Bloodworth's tune.
It's a start.
Yeah.
It's a start. So it essentially gives people like us one valuable day and then 2 trash days that we wouldn't even go to, right?
I mean, we still go.
No.
You think
'cause
so?
you'll
Oh
be
my
able to get
goodness,
everything
yes.
done.
With 10,000 extra people there?
Well, yeah,
Well,
it's
if
not.
we're still doing all appointments, it wouldn't
Yeah.
be the worst thing. But yeah,
Okay.
I mean, you have to remember, until a couple years ago, all 3 of those days were industry only. So it's,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like, you know, with how screwy E3 could get and what a bad situation this could potentially be, getting Tuesday is as opposed to Thursday. You know, like,
Right.
Yeah.
I could see them doing that too. You're like, all right, you industry people, if you have anything to pick up, you can do it on the last day. Starting with us is a big deal. Trusting us with that information. You know, being like, I want these people to report on this before everyone else comes in, as opposed to all the fans coming in, making everything trend.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
then you do your impressions later.
Jones, some of the stuff I'll read out
Journalists.
loud though, it's by design, man. They use the phrase FOMO. They want these people, the influencers, to come on Tuesday to make everybody want to be there more Wednesday and Thursday. It's by design that.
That's
all
why
those
the
people
Joker
do it
reviews
Tuesday.
are like a month out. Because you're just like,
Yes.
Yeah, there's more to this. Like, there's a huge caveat with all of this. Even adding a press day, it's not really about. It's not about giving us access.
Yes.
it's about something more sinister, and I'm not very happy with this.
Ooh. Do you want to get into that then?
Yes,
Just
go
right
on,
now?
go
Let's
on.
go into
I mean,
that.
yeah. Do you want to read the bullet point, or do you want me to say what it is?
I want you to dig into what you're upset about.
So they have this. There's a bullet point or a passage in there that basically says they want to control the message.
Yes.
and they want
So
to
we were gonna
control
hear-
the
yes.
media by basically.
I can actually read that out loud.
Yeah, go ahead and read their own word. Or yeah, what was it?
I didn't get this deep. Wow.
Yeah, this is bad.
Yes, this is like, it is truly, truly crazy. So sorry, that one is like almost toward the end.
Sure.
Okay. Paid media partnerships. Create paid media partnerships with major outlets that exponentially increase the reach of E3 and its exhibitors. Enables ESA to control content and the message. Final bullet point. CNBC Tech
luck.
Impact was a proof of concept that enabled ESA to build the show, own the content, and distribute it nationally. Now, Game Daily did a really good thing. They actually looked for that show. It's not on CNBC. It's apparently on Fox Business or in one other channel.
Okay.
But it was
Weird.
this one show that said sponsored content in the show's intro or something, but did not explicitly say the ESA paid us money to say these things. So Damiani's saying that slide right there, that's already a headline.
Sure.
They want to buy coverage.
But they can't. I mean, yeah, but
They did.
I know, but people sniff that out. I don't see
sure.
them being
Well, I mean, it's not just
stealthy
sniffed
about
out.
it.
I mean, it says right up front that's what it is. But
Yeah,
it's still
but
getting,
the problem is it's the
Yeah.
attitude, the audacity of them to think that they could start doing. They still haven't even addressed previous controversy, the ongoing controversy of them mishandling all this private information
on
and
their own private information.
and
now.
their own stuff and publisher information, and still haven't really said anything other than we'll do something about it. Trust us. And it's no, that's the whole point. We don't trust you. Why? That whole thing still exists, and now they're moving on to so let's see what other things we. To me, the ESA has been really problematic in its ties to E3. It feels like they are just trying to figure out more ways to make E3 bigger, but the ESA benefiting the most from it. It doesn't feel like they're doing it for the good of the industry anymore. It feels like they're doing it for the good of themselves and money. Everything, all these decisions they keep making reek of we just need to make more money because we have publishers backing out of E3. So what do we got to do? Let's get influencers to come and add more public people so we can recoup the losses that way, even though everyone's bailing out. I don't want to dominate this too much, but I just want to say, I want to say this in my little mini rant here. Someone should come in and usurp the ESA and make something that is E3 that's better. Jeff Keighley. And Jeff Keighley is that person. Straight up, he could get all of these companies to come back, do panels, do proper industry and public days, get a venue that could support all this, actual meeting rooms, actual exhibit space, just kind of his YouTube gaming thing, but expand it into a giant, an actual E3 thing. And I think someone like that could do this, and I would trust Keighley way more than ESA.
Well, it sounds like he's talking to them and he's giving them advice.
There is a Keighley slide. There is a slide for the E3 Coliseum. Which it's Keighley's panel.
Yeah.
He'll do panels Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They're adding extra stuff, this sort of talk track thing, because this E3 Coliseum is overstuffed. They said we have to turn down people who are interested in having panels at the E3 Coliseum, so we're adding this whole other line of panels in the upper floor. But I don't like to speak for Jeff Keighley, but I do feel safe saying I bet he has no interest in doing that, Damiani.
Oh, really?
I bet he has no interest in running E3.
I mean, forming a company or an organization in place of it, not Keighley himself. Obviously, I don't want to put words in his mouth either.
Right,
but I think if there's someone who could facilitate this process, Keighley could be that spark.
Yes.
And it shouldn't only fall on him. He has the clout, but I think the industry needs to step up. Publishers need to figure out, what do we really want out of E3? What is wrong with it? What do we need to do differently? And what needs to be addressed about it? Because obviously, there's the whole thing about press conferences versus, they're around E3, but they're not really technically part of E3.
Right.
You have the exhibit stuff, but it's going more public, and it's harder for press to do coverage for it. Whereas it seems more valuable for a company like Sony. Why did Sony pull out? We still don't know a definitive answer, but there's lots of statements out there that say Sony seemed to not be so happy with how E3 was being run or what they were getting out of it. So
Sean Layden was very clear.
Yeah, basically Layden statements.
Layden
Layden statements this isn't working.
He already made
we
his
we
decision.
don't like this. We're doing these straight up plays. We're going to be doing our own thing. We're getting a lot of flack for it, but it's better than being a part of E3. It seems like, and it seems like no one's really happy with it from the publisher. ESA, I thought was supposed to represent the publishers, and they really, are they? Or are they just representing a few of the biggest ones and not everyone equal? I don't know. I feel like the ESA is outdated, and if E3 is to continue, I just wish someone else could take over it and do it.
That's what's funny, Damiani, is this is their attempt. It's they come out and said, we're listening. We need to evolve, and this is what we're doing. And that's why they're adding the experiential stuff, the more open floor where there's things happening while you wait in line, and you download an app, and then people take your data, but you also have fun while you're waiting in line all day. That's the Q-tainment, by the way. So they're trying in just the weirdest direction. And Game Daily also says the same thing, Damiani, is that they're just growing in the opposite way. They're growing in the direction that isn't helpful to anyone.
Well, I think, to me, like, Damiani took the words right out of my mouth when he said outdated. Like, it feels like they're a company from 2005 that got dropped into 2019 and was like, oh, okay, like, let's try. It feels like they're waiting for the tech bubble, like, someone to come and buy them, you know? It's just like, also, wait, didn't they just get a new boss? Didn't their old boss?
There's
like,
an announcement today
There's
about
a
that
whole
too.
management shakeup that's like
Right. So it's like,
ongoing.
this is the new blood or something, right? Like,
Maybe. Like, what if there's enough backlash where they're like, oh, maybe that was a bad idea. Maybe that would happen?
I don't get how they're going to save money on Q-tainment. That seems like a way bigger deal. That seems like kind of pressuring every publisher into like turning the thing into Disneyland. Some people do.
Yes.
Some people do. Like sometime, obviously the Nintendo blows it up. There's the Raccoon City, walkthrough. But like not everybody does that. It doesn't necessarily fit every game. Like, when I played Monster Hunter World at PAX, like I didn't need something. I needed a station to play the game at, and there was a big dragon over me, and that was great. Like I didn't need more than that. And so it's weird if they do want more characters, more story-driven stuff. This technology. You got to think up a platform or language for that. Plus, you got to make your booth a lot bigger. It's like get more TVs and have more stations, or maybe is there like a power shortage or something that prevents you from doing that, or like there's a ton of empty space this year, more TVs.
yeah, make the lines shorter. That's
This is
the
supposed
most
to fill up
entertaining
West
thing
Hall
you
or
could
something,
do.
right?
Yeah.
Like go to QuakeCon. That many monitors I want to see at E3.
Yeah.
So the problem on their whiteboard was our lines are too long and it takes too long to play a game, and their solution was make it more fun to
dangle
be in
more
line.
stuff in front of them while they're in line.
I can't believe
I
it.
mean, I don't know how long it took to get in there, but did you saw the Borderlands booth this year?
No.
That was amazing.
It was just line after line of PC, just like.
Oh, so they
tons
did
of-
load it up.
Yeah,
They
there's
made it-
probably
yeah.
like 90 PC stations in there. or
Which
something.
seems like kind of boring, like from a design perspective, but like. For people like us, you see that and it's like, oh wow, their Gearbox is ready.
Yes.
Gearbox is ready for people to experience this. They're ready to promote it. Like, this is not a Terminator game that's coming out in 3 or 4 months that just got announced. Like, this feels like a big deal. Yeah. They want people to have impressions. They want the conversation about that game to be about the people that played it and had fun.
But again, that's on they're putting that onus on the publishers though, because they got to pay for that space. They got to
Right.
make sure they buy a big enough booth to do that. So if one of the ESA's objectives is doing that, they either need to throw a bone to publishers and like, okay, we understand your needs. We'll lower the cost. If you have a bigger presence there, we'll come down the cost so it's not an exuberant amount of money you're paying for it because it is really expensive. Or they need to like work on some way to just create more space for them to set up their games, whether it's using those upper floors, which they do already, but it's like for meetings, maybe opening up and like maybe having more stricter like restrictions on like, hey, open that space up to like the second floor is press only, and it's basically like a mini version of the booth downstairs. So press, you go upstairs and you wait in line upstairs for those because there's fewer press.
Even that middle area is like not really utilized
stuff
anymore.
like that. Like they basically, the problem is they have all these ideas and they already have 2 other conventions, massive conventions. E3 is relatively small compared to the other largest like game conventions out there. And those other ones already have templates to deal with that massive crowd and appeal to as many people as possible. We have talked about TGS and Gamescom, which both have industry-only days to appease them. Gamescom goes further by having a business-only section, which appointments and like smaller booth versions of the larger booths on the main show floor exist, and you get to go walk in there, and it makes it easier for people who are there to do their job to take care of that. Yeah. Whereas if you're going there as a paying member of the public, you're there to wait in line, you're there for like as a consumer for fun. Obviously you should still get a chance to play the games, but it's not your job to be there. So E3 needs to decide like where do we want to be? Do we need to have this like better division here so people understand if you're going in the exhibit hall, it's a long line. This is meant for like public people. It's like that's where the spectacle should be. Let's have a different area for the press. They don't care about the spectacle. They don't need to see all the flashing lights and stuff. Just give them booth space or a station.
But it sounds like the
space.
spectacle is what pissed off Layden. It doesn't sound like this is a pitch to him.
Oh, right.
And
Oh,
like,
yeah.
and I think
feels like
his
he's
opinion is pretty important in this huge conversation.
Yeah.
Like that was he couldn't have been clearer.
Yeah.
Well, and
About his distaste.
that was something I was just thinking about is like so far this has been a cold war, between the ESA and the publishers kind of. I was thinking of if next year if Sony and EA and whoever else bows out, Microsoft to some extent, like if they want to just start just actually taking it to the ESA and E3, like they should just like drop public demos of all the stuff that they would have had on the show floor, and then just say like no lines at all, just play it at home. You know? And then like
because
game
if
set
you're,
match, you know.
So
if you're putting it out to the public, that's kind of like why not?
So I want to touch on this actually. This is to me, this is like the good idea.
Okay.
This is the one like good
Okay.
idea, and there's plenty more trash I want to get to. But there's a slide that's called the E3 digital ticket. E3 will sell a game demo bundle to fans who want to experience the games showcased on the floor. Exhibitors provide codes to limited time demos that are enjoyed through a cloud-based portal. Participating companies receive player-provided information to enable follow-up marketing, offers for pre-orders, and relationship building. Like, really, like this whole thing is worth reading if you want to see what marketers talk like. But that's the idea, right? Hey, buy this thing, you'll get to play demos, and also we'll market you for the rest of the year.
We got them.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's what all these companies like. All they care about is getting you to download their app and put your info into
Again,
it.
that's all the developers. It's just there's so many things that they're saying that it's just like you guys do more work, and then E3 will be better.
Yes.
It's like that's
Yeah,
one way to go about it, I
that's
guess.
it
It's
again,
scary to
yeah.
make your demos public. It is actually super
Yeah,
scary.
this is the
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
every year, I hear from people who either can't go to E3 or the like people who are just part of the public who've gone E3. Like, man, the simplest solution is just to like put all the demos out in the public, let everyone play them and stuff. But I don't think they understand. A lot of publishers like also want to control the message about their
Right.
game. They only want certain people to play it. So
Do we
or
just lose power?
or they want a person physically with you standing next to you when you're playing it. So if you do something unexpected, oh, why don't you try and go over here
Sorry,
instead?
that was
Or
me.
like they get freaked out when you don't play by those set of rules.
Of course.
And sending it out into the wild, not only is it they have less control of that message. So if it's negatively received, like press are a little bit more understanding of E3 demos. They're not always perfect. They understand this game.
Even review builds.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's something about that to be said where out in the wild, it's just going to get raw impressions,
Right.
and that could be backfire spectacularly wrong.
Even the Builders 2 demo was exclusive to E3 for like 3 weeks, and that was out in Japan for like half a year. Yeah, it's just like even that. Square Enix was like,
Yeah, I mean, there's the point too to where like an E3 demo isn't built the way like a downloadable demo is. You know, like most of the time with a downloadable demo, like you've chopped off most of the things surrounding it.
Yes.
Whereas at E3, it's like you just have, you know, like softer systems in place to keep people from going where they're not supposed to go.
That's fair.
Exactly. It's not
Yeah.
always running on the consumer hardware. It might be like a dev unit version of it, so it couldn't
yeah.
even run. And more to your point, Brothers, this goes to be very dangerous because if it isn't a self-contained demo and contains more of the game, how many times have we seen early demos go out for ahead of a release
yeah.
and people data mine it and they unlock all the content? And it's like the game's out there. It's like all of a sudden
One of those Yakuza demos, remember, is like people just found a way
The
to like
whole
play
game.
yeah,
the
the whole game.
The whole
So
game,
imagine
yeah.
this, where it's an earlier build and people get access to an almost complete but not fully polished. And like, man, this game sucks. There's a full play. Like, that's like every publisher's nightmare.
Sure.
But again, like I don't want to keep playing defense for publishers either. But at the same time, a lot of this reeks of publishers. You need to do more. You need to do more for us. Like all the solutions sound like publishers do more. And the solution right here is as good of an idea as is, Kyle. Why did the publishers even need the ESA to do this or E3? Like, they can just do it on their own.
I can't
Like,
wait to get to that, Damiani,
Yeah.
because ESA has an answer for you.
Okay.
The answer is celebrities. Now, these are some of my favorite slides. In partnership with talent agencies, examples given, UTA, CAA, pre-book top-tier celebrities to participate in VIP tour and social media activations. Leverage celebrities' commitment to foundations and their causes. On-floor video game competition with the winner getting a donation to their charity, honoring special guests as celebrities' foundations. So you might be like, wait, hold on. They just want to draw in celebrities with saying like, we'll do stuff for your charity? Like, are they that cynical? The answer is yes. I have to read these next two pages. The next one's titled The Power of Social Good. Research shows that millennials and Gen Z are the most giving back social good generations ever. By amplifying E3's social good brand, we can advance the industry's brand with consumers while storing positive chits for future use. E.g., policy goals, next negative video game story. We might have to pause there.
Can we just?
We might have to pause there. Next negative video game. So they're saying, hey, wait. We're the guys who are social good. Why are you mad at us?
Oh my
And
god.
anticipating
Coming
the
from-
next negative video game.
Yeah, that'll be them when our 2020 info gets leaked again. This sounds like this is obviously written by someone in the a marketing department who just let's just float ideas and stuff that just sound good in my head.
No.
These are really good ideas.
I think this is the truth, man.
No, but someone bought into it. Someone high level is like, yes, this sounds great. And this in practice is all gonna be trash. This is gonna be horrible. I really hope this. I mean, if this is what it needs to take for E3 to die to get something else, then so be it. But this stuff is whoa.
I gotta keep going.
Did you real quick? Did
Yeah.
you guys
Whoa.
ever see the Pepsi rebrand, marketing, whatever they call it, deck or whatever? The deck that the company that was doing the logo rebrand for Pepsi gave Pepsi. Did you guys ever see that?
I think I remember.
I heard about it. I
This
don't
was a
think I
few
ever read
years
it,
ago,
but yeah.
right?
It was like 10, 15 years ago. But it was 26 pages of just complete and utter bullshit.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was the logo and then the planets with their gravity and then a lady in the store being drawn to the logo as planetary gravity and that was a whole page. And it was just 30 pages of that. It was amazing. Check it out if you can.
What I love about this, and it'll become more clear, is the cynicism. Not cynicism, but just this idea of using something that is good to their advantage and taking advantage of people who believe in a good thing. One tactic we can implement is partnering with influencers, celebrities, athletes, YouTube personalities who are passionate about E3 relevant social good efforts, e.g., gender equality, STEM. Imagine a NBA champion, global superstar playing in an E3 Coliseum conversation, participating in an E3 Coliseum conversation, and or global movie star being part of the E3 digital ticket because it included social good components. More. I have more. This gets so good. All right, we're still on the power of social good.
This reaffirms it because there's so many times I'm on this podcast and I'm like, I don't know what I'm talking about, and I don't know. I don't really know if I should weigh in on this because it's not my genre. It's not. I don't know this developer that well. I haven't followed this story, so I don't know if my opinion's valid. It's I feel great about my stance.
Yes. Here, you want more?
On the industry, if this is their perspective.
Influencer engagement through the traditional means is expensive due to speaker and appearance fees top talent can command. Our strategy could include a year-round and multiple-year approach rooted in true partnership. We have something they crave for their social good efforts: attention and access to a platform representing the biggest industry on the planet. And they have something we want: validation, attention, and excitement across media outlets beyond the video game space. Done right, these stories will be the gift that keeps on giving.
Stop.
Even when this is a press release me, even when a new game or product related effort isn't happening because social good occurs nonstop, and we could release social good content to keep E3 relevant throughout the year.
Keep Christmas with you.
Oh,
I want to know who wrote this because they are master of bullshit.
it's I've seen cruddy stuff, right? We've all worked for cruddy businesses. We've seen the insides of Viacom. I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen anything close to that.
You have to tell that story. You know what I mean? It's got to be. There has to be that kind of reasoning behind it.
Yes.
Well, and also this just smacks of how companies are write for us for free for exposure,
Sure.
and it's just they're trying to do that but with Kanye.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's just so not gonna work.
Well, following
Don't have
the
the money.
really poor position that that they're in, the ESA is in now, and then to use language like "we got something they want."
I know.
It's if you had something they want, this deck wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be having this conversation. Remember, you didn't. I'm not sure. There's a part of me that thinks this was leaked on purpose. I don't know. This sounds like such a perfect menu of how.
Is there any chance
which
this
of
is
this will
fake?
piss people off the most?
Yeah,
Let's
I don't
let's
think
rank
so.
the significance of anger on all of these details.
I think Fudder's
A little
legit.
part.
Yeah,
A
I
little
don't think
part,
this is
like-
fake.
Well, I meant like what
Not
they
fake.
got was like someone really gave them this stuff, but the source like bullshitted this or something.
No, dude.
Just to be an asshole.
What I can assume is like, let's say it's you or me, and we work for the ESA. I'm leaking this.
Oh, yeah,
we
'cause
talked about
this
it being
is, this
leaked
is
in general.
suicide.
It's a
Yeah. That's what I was saying.
takedown.
This is
Yeah,
going to
it's a
accelerate the death of
takedown.
E3. If any of this comes to pass, it's just
Yes.
they're probably like, I want to keep my job, so let's get public opinion on my personal side, which is against this idea, so
Yeah.
that maybe they can rethink this and reconsider before it's too late.
Yeah.
Or the flip side is true. Their international competitor E4 was like, we gotta
E4?
leak this, take him out. You know?
But if you're the ESA and you know this leaked, do you even like? How do you sell this stuff if you're going to go forward with any of this? Like introducing the new E3, like we've heard about it.
They just say maybe this is like, oh, this is a brainstorming meeting and stuff, and like none of this was like
Yeah.
gonna
Which is
be.
true.
Does
That's
this
fair,
deck
right?
exist
It's-
every
yeah.
year?
Yeah, we
or
just
is
wanted to
this,
hear
like-
out different stuff. This is one of many presentations we had. Blah,
Yeah.
But
blah,
I mean,
blah.
like, if there's anything the ESA has exhibited, like a lack of skill in dealing with, it's stuff like this, right? Like leaks. Like they barely addressed the leak of everybody's information. You know, like
yeah.
they don't pivot.
Which is why I think we'll get a video that's like we're
Right.
going to change, like a countdown in 5 days. We'll tell you how we're going to change E3. We're like we read
And
it.
it'll just be this.
Before we move on, I need to know. I need the panel's thoughts. When Sony said last year we're skipping E3, I think a lot of people said, oh, they're just taking the year off because it's a light year. They'll be back next year. I want to hear you say now. Will Sony be at E3 2020?
I highly doubt it.
I actually highly doubt they wouldn't. I think with next gen that they, one way or another, they're gonna want to put that in front of people.
I think another blood. I'm with Jones. I don't think they're doing it this year.
Before the debacle, I would have said very likely, but I think I'm very skeptical now. And honestly, I think everyone's kind of playing wait and see with what ESA does with E3.
Yeah.
I could see if they do something like this, or they like media outcry grows because we're still giving them some time, like say something, give us a statement when I get a change. And if it's a crappy plan of action, and then publishers catch wind, whoa, there's gonna be like a boycott of E3. Like no one, like we're gonna lose all these people going. It's not worth it for us, so let's all pull out and stuff. Like it could snowball into something really bad without even this stuff being true.
Yes.
This stuff's just gonna make it worse.
So like, let's say Nintendo. I think Nintendo's least likely to pull out. But if they did, E3 is less appealing to me if I'm Ubisoft. Without
For sure.
Nintendo there. It's way less appealing if I'm
Yeah.
a smaller publisher too.
Because Nintendo still hosts a lot of smaller games and third-party games in their booth.
Yeah, and they
You know,
make the
same
show
thing,
more exciting to be
you
at.
know, even though Xbox is up the street, like they have a lot of games there that you wouldn't be able to play anywhere else.
True, it still makes E3 as a whole more enjoyable because it is close. It feels part of E3.
It is part of E3 technically. It's just you have to leave the building.
Sure.
Which is a big logistic nightmare now that they have all the metal detectors and everything.
Ian, what do you think? Will Sony be back this year?
I mean, kind of like what Damiani said. Initially, I was thinking that if they've got a PS5 to announce, they're going to tout it around town there. Mm-hmm. But now I'm just thinking, like, man, do they need it? I don't know if they need it. Because, like, if you look at it, E3 is just, now it's kind of more and more just PAX, you know?
And it'd be so fine if they just tried to do PAX.
They
if they
should
just tried
do
it.
They're not
PAX.
even doing. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not even doing PAX.
Yes.
Is the problem.
Right,
Yeah.
they're not doing
They're not.
PAX
They're,
well.
like, it's a weird.
PAX is so panel
Strange
focused.
thing.
yeah,
the
PAX
panels
is
are
way
like
cooler.
one of like the main reasons to go to PAX. Like those are
Yeah.
there's like PAX panels that just aren't at other conventions. Like,
Just imagine,
Right.
yeah, like E3, like new games, and after like the press conference of it, they have like an hour panel, like an hour deep dive in each game that was there, and like live audience with it. You get to ask like a question, like, hey, I just saw that. Like, so how did
It's kind of E3 Coliseum.
I mean,
All right.
that's what I was saying. Like,
Yeah.
expand Coliseum to be the whole thing.
Sure.
That's like such a
Right.
great concept for it.
Well, let me
yeah.
clarify what I meant. I meant like what E3 is trying to be, we already have, which is PAX.
Sure.
You know what I
Gotcha.
mean? Like what they're trying to pivot into, we've already got, and it's like we already have that.
Yeah,
Well,
I
it's-
mean,
yeah.
and I think that's one of the problems, right? Again, when we go back to this whole divide of like trying to become a consumer show rather than an industry show, is that like now we've kind of lost both shows. We've got this weird, and that's what Sony doesn't like.
Yeah.
We got this weird middle ground that doesn't really help anybody. You know,
Half
like we,
measures.
we can make appointments and we can get people to see all the games, but it's still lost this whole sense of discovery that E3 used to have, where everybody's booths were open. you could go there as somebody in the industry without any appointments, and you could walk around and you could check everything out, and you could find out about things that you didn't know about before. And now you kind of have to know about most of it in advance because you have to make all the appointments, or else you don't see anything.
Yeah. There's still a lot of months to go.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like their plans. I just thought it was kind of interesting to bring up. I don't want to say this will be E3 this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, just super interesting to have access to this.
I think they just need to start just doing their own events. PlayStation Experience, like a dedicated weekend PlayStation Experience around the formal announcement of like unveiling a PS5. Like we show you the hardware, we show you some games, doing a weekend, announcing it in advance, getting enough people to come in. I think that's good enough.
Even without celebrities.
Yeah, I don't think they don't need
the funny
E3
thing too. Like
for that.
E3 has always had celebrity. E3 has had Paris Hilton and like Mr. T and
not the way to do it.
Kobe Bryant.
Snoop has been there a million times. Like
Nintendo
Robin
friend.
Williams used to just go just because he wanted to go. It's just like
Let me. I just had an idea. Like, let me paint you a picture
Okay.
of, and this might be a little nuts, but PSX obviously probably not happening this year. Next year, they've already announced PS5. We know all about it. We've seen it, whatever, in State of Plays, whatever. But next year, 2020, like 2 weeks before holiday season, or like 3-4 weeks, early December, is PSX. And if you go to PSX, you can buy a PS5 a week early, 2 weeks early.
Ooh.
Like, that would be insanity.
Madness.
Madness. But like it would sell out immediately. Like PSX would make so much money, and like they would never need E3 again.
Honestly, I think PSX would sell out regardless on a PS5 announce year.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
And exclusivity that strong tends to piss people off more than anything, because the number of people who wouldn't get it far exceed
Oh,
people
for
who
sure.
would.
That's a good
They
point.
would be angry.
Wasn't thinking about that.
Do you want to hear that? Oh. Sounds like it's podcast halftime.
The following are the official sponsors of Easy Allies for the month of September. El Fanis. Car Keys Express. If you need a replacement car key or a remote, check out carkeysexpress.com/store. Use the coupon code EZA at checkout for free shipping and 10% off of your order. They are proud sponsors of Easy Allies. Hogue Law, business law firm. Whether you're starting a business at level 1, stuck fighting the dreaded fundraising boss, or finally cashing out with a well-earned high score, you need a good business lawyer at your side. Or at least that Good Business Lawyer's YouTube and podcast series, Virtual Legality. This week in Virtual Legality, Hogue discusses E3's new plans to become a influencer festival, digital purchases being hidden behind paywalls, a renewed push to regulate loot boxes as gambling in the UK, and more. Check it all out at youtube.com/HOEG Law or on your favorite podcast service. Beaten Down Brian. Our gifted sponsor is SOS Children's Villages. Children are at the heart of everything SOS Children's Villages does, regardless of where they are in the world. SOS Children's Villages is the largest non-governmental organization dedicated to the long-term care of orphaned and abandoned children across the globe. For more information and to donate, the link is in the description. And our mega sponsor, ViewSonic. It goes without saying that gaming relies on fast reaction times. And if you're often finding yourself on the losing end of those nail-biting standoffs, the problem might not be your performance, it might be your monitors. With ViewSonic Elite's expansive line of gaming monitors, users are delivered the performance modern gaming requires. Take the 24-inch XG240R. With its blazing fast 144Hz refresh rate and 1 millisecond response time, you'll experience the hyper-responsiveness of esports pros. And with the XG240R's fully customizable RGB backlighting, users can sync to partnered hardware to illuminate their gaming atmosphere. Learn more about ViewSonic Elite by visiting viewsonic.com/elite. And for giveaways and updates, follow at ViewSonic Gaming on social media. All of these links are available in the description. Thank you to our sponsors.
Thank you, sponsors. Want to hit another quick headline before we move on to love and respect. Got some good ones this week. Rockstar Games has their own launcher now on PC. Meaning that if you want to launch your Rockstar games, you go into this launcher and then you click play. Strange thing. I think it was probably bound to happen. They want to make you buy their games through their own store eventually, whenever the next Rockstar game is announced and released. 5 games, Jones. 6 games. What do you think is on there?
What do I think is on? Well, San Andreas is on there because you get it for free.
Nice. You saw the story.
I saw that.
Nice, yeah. So if you download this launcher today, they just give you San Andreas for free, just for downloading the launcher. They got your information. They can market to you now. They got what they wanted. It was worth more to them than whatever the cost of San Andreas is. What else is on there?
I wonder if it's like all the PS4 titles. So Vice City,
Vice City, yes.
GTA 3,
No GTA 3.
interesting. Bully,
Yes.
Red Dead 1.
No
Red Dead on PC.
Oh no,
Not
of
on
course not. Of
PC,
course
oh,
not.
yeah.
Yeah. GTA 5.
Yep.
I don't know. One more.
2 more.
Max Payne 3.
Yes.
Kind
Last one kind of sucks.
of sucks.
Yeah.
Smugglers Run 2.
It's got a bunch of dumb faces in it.
A bunch of dumb.
they know
yes, of course. With
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of interesting.
I wonder if you can get the VR one eventually through their launcher, if they're not
Me
even
too,
like
yeah, if they're
blowing
willing
with
to do that, yeah.
But if you already have the games, does it like force you into this or no?
For 2 of them, yes. So
Oh.
if 2 of them, if you have the game, you re-download it through their store. If you already bought it on Steam, you download it through the Rockstar launcher.
No.
Sorry, Blood, I don't know if you're forced to, but I know
Okay.
you can.
Got
So
it.
that's what you would do to access that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's probably news for a later day. That we'll see.
Yeah,
how
I mean, Redemption 2 coming to PC is a big deal. So I saw a lot of people being like,
Yes, they're laying the groundwork now,
putting down the.
and I would expect it not to see it on the Epic Game Store or Steam. It's probably going to be exclusive to this store.
Does
Teeing
that mean
teeing
people
that
are all
golf
pissed
ball up.
about it?
2020.
People are not, Ian, because it has cloud saves. The ability, yes, that's it. It has cloud saves. You can shop for new games and it has automatic updates. Like, oh, okay, sure. But no, Ian, I don't think people are generally mad about it because it's not as bad as Epic.
Well, they're not going to
It's-
they're not going to get
it's its own
exclusive
company's
anything
storefront
outside of
for
their
own
game.
games.
Yeah,
It's not
Yeah.
like other companies' games.
Now
are
they
on
get
there.
100% of
So
the
you're
profits.
directly supporting the
Sure.
developer and public. Like,
And I
yeah,
do think that
yeah.
means something to somebody.
Well,
Yeah.
and like you said, they're not taking them away from Steam right now. I
Right.
think that's more of the issue. It's like
Right.
I can't have this on Steam. You
That
know?
is
yeah.
the
Oh, I
biggest
thought
issue.
I thought
yeah.
this meant that it was going off Steam. Yeah,
I bet
yeah.
the new stuff won't be, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
Right. Then they'll be mad.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Rockstar's pretty good with free stuff. They're pretty good. Like all the GTA 5 stuff, it's like mostly free, aside from like you obviously it's like Hearthstone style. So like if you have the in-game gold, same with Red Dead Online, they just added new stuff, and it's like it costs something, but if you have the in-game currency already ready to go, like waiting for the next update, you can just get it.
You're willing to call this
So-
company generous right now.
Maybe not to its employees,
All right.
but
Okay.
you know, GTA 5 also. You know.
Also, kind of tied to that, Discord is
Oh, yeah.
not going to be selling. Or sorry, if you were like a Nitro subscriber, if you paid $10 a month or more,
Yeah.
you got free games through their service. That is ending. Discord said, okay, we're not going to do that anymore. It's not popular enough. People aren't playing those games. So
Billie Eilish .gif. Like
Yeah, who would've
saw this
thought?
coming from day one. Like,
I think when we
that's
brought
not
it
gonna
up,
take off.
yeah. I do remember talking about that on this very podcast. Yeah, I mean, it's cool though to see the first failure. I mean, you know, we keep seeing people with subscription services pop up. It's like, hey, there's our first one that didn't make it. More to come. It's now time for love and respect.
Love and respect.
Okay. So this was let's see what I can mine out of the panel for this one because I was not able to check this stuff out this week. Hey allies, I'm curious to know your guys' thoughts on Apple Arcade. For anyone who's out of the loop, it's a new service Apple is offering, kind of like Xbox Game Pass, where you pay a monthly fee to gain access to a whole bunch of mobile games. Now, personally, I'm excited to try it out and see what they have to offer, and I'm sure Jones is too.
Curious,
But
yeah.
the response from the general public has been pretty non-receptive. For years, mobile gaming has had this distinctly casual reputation, falling victim to microtransactions and in-app purchases, but I get the impression that Apple Arcade is making an effort to distance itself from that image, at least for the time being. There's your typical mobile schlock in there, sure, but the inclusion of indie titles such as Sayonara Wild Hearts and Shantae and the Seven Sirens makes it seem like Apple is really trying to curate their game catalog and give greater value to that monthly subscription fee. So with that being said, do you guys think that Apple Arcade can find success within the current landscape of mobile gaming? LNR, Jeremy at pick_Jeremy.
I don't know if it's a bad sign that I'm way into the Apple Game Store and I have no idea what this. I mean, I've heard about it.
Sure.
And I was actually kind of following tweets. People were talking about it, but like none of it really got to the source of like, what is this? How does it work? Just that short description. It's like, oh, now I like kind of get it.
Yeah, so it launched just this week, but only on iOS devices. So I thought like, oh, I'll be able to play it on my laptop.
Just
I'll
on
be able to try
phones, I think. It's not on iPad yet.
Oh, okay. So just on
I
phones.
saw
you mean?
people on social media saying I'm in when it comes to iPad, but
Sure.
it's not yet. And Apple TV, of course.
So now your controllers work with your phone if you have a Bluetooth PS4 or Xbox One controller.
Oh, interesting.
You can play these with those. $5 a month, and the games are good looking.
And by fun developers. One
Yes.
was Cappy, who it's like how long did we wait for Below, and then boom, here's a game. We made this.
Spider
like,
Swords, is that what we're looking at
Yeah,
earlier?
yeah.
Spider Swords looks really cool. That's from Way Forward. It's cool just to see
There's
this
one
announced.
called
release.
like The Getaway or it's like a road trip game, and I saw
Cool,
that the
yeah.
devs were like so excited, and
We saw
it's
the
like
Lego Brawl.
Lego Brawl. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like
so it's
a
neat to see.
multiplayer.
It's like a
yeah.
hodgepodge. It's neat to see like fun, developers I'm not that familiar with, kind of being like lumped in, like ooh, like
Yes.
we're with other really fun developers, but it's like something that took our whole team to make. They did just like a fun thing on the side.
And I remember when this was first announced, Mistwalker, their next game is going to be on this platform as well.
okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Interesting.
And so like they're seeking out legitimate developers.
That's the biggest deal for me. That's
Yeah.
the most noticeable thing, having not really dived into it yet, is that like there was a clear effort to not only get them involved but get them excited. Because
Yes.
when I see this language coming from the developers, they're like, we're really proud of this dumb little game that
Yeah.
we made. So go check it out.
And again, on top of this, it's not that even like it appears that Apple's trying to go for different types of games. It's a mandate. You may not have microtransactions in any of the games that are part of this service.
Cool.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
It seems like even DLC actually, which is double nuts. But
Maybe a little bit dumb, but yeah.
yeah, exactly, right? So
There's
that's
so many mobile developers that are like, oh yeah, that's sorry.
Yeah.
We're not.
and that's what I like.
Supercell's like,
So Blood, it is dumb, but it's to say we have to make this sacrifice to just keep it clean, to make
Right.
it so it isn't the types of mobile games that people got frustrated with, to make them comfortable with giving this $5 a month.
Yeah, I think that this is, I think this is really good from a design perspective. That like you don't have to make your game fit this mold of the only way to make money on mobile or whatever, because we saw how much backlash there was from Nintendo when they first started putting out games and like, what? I have to pay $10 for this game? It's not just free, like blah blah blah, and like this in a way, it's like it like makes everything free even though it's not free, kind of,
It totally does. I get what you mean.
Yeah. Because
It's $5
like,
a month, but it's going to feel like free.
yeah, because like, oh, this is on there, that's on there. It's like I can pay $5, to get those and try that out.
Shantae's going to cost more than $5 alone, right? Like,
Right.
It's just going to be that. Yes.
So I really think that it's going to open up like another set of games, and particularly like you're saying, like being able to play with your controller. Like some of those games I was looking at, like we're looking at Spider Stores. I'm like, doesn't look like it'd be good to play like just with the phone, but
Yeah.
if you put a controller on there, it's like, oh, okay, cool. And I think some of those games probably are like timed exclusivity and won't be there forever.
one example, Jenny LeClue is coming to that, which is like
Yeah.
right up Amanda's alley. I was like, oh my god, they custom made this game for her basically.
Yeah.
But like iPhone 3D control or like bringing a controller with her to play. Like, no, like
Yeah.
when it comes out on Switch, I'll let her know. Like, hey, remember that game I told you about like a year ago? It's on Switch now. Oh, okay.
That's
no.
my feelings.
And that's the thing is like I'm actually really not picky, but like I have a set. I like sim games. I like strategy games. I like, it's like action games, like role playing games. Like it's just a lot of stuff to do on my phone. Like there's a lot of times I won't play it for like weeks, and then I'll come back and be like, what was I doing? I don't remember. And so it's like I don't know if my phone is the service that I want to just like let's
about your
try out
laptop?
10 new games today.
I know you have an Apple laptop too. Would you try it on your laptop?
I mean, it's for such specific reasons, no. But
Oh, okay.
it's the booth laptop now. It basically just lives in the VO booth and
Oh,
just
okay.
handles all of that. So,
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. It's strange. It solves a problem I didn't know needed to be solved about mobile.
Yeah.
It's so I don't know.
Would
I'm
you buy
curious
an
to see
Apple
how,
TV for this?
we have 2 Apple TVs. So
Well, here we go, buddy.
I've never got a controller for it though.
You got one.
Disney Infinity being on there was like the only time I was like, I'm curious to
You
just
got
see
you
how
got a
that runs.
PS4. You
but-
got an Xbox One. You're all set, man.
I'm also not hungry for games.
This
This is
I want to get
ridiculous.
to this, Jones.
This
Yes,
is
yes,
like
thank you.
ridiculous. And
Yes.
it seems like our ratio for excellence was pretty solid this summer. It seems like most reviews were like most things turned out well.
Yes.
Like a lot of people who had at least 1 or 2 games they were looking forward to this summer, it was good.
Yeah.
You know, your game was good. Mario Maker was good. Control was good. You know, Fire Emblem was good.
Marvel was good.
You know, Link's Awakening, like all these, you know, a lot of these games were working out.
Yeah.
So yeah, Marvel. I mean, I couldn't stop playing that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. I don't know what it means. Maybe I'm kind of rambling. I don't have the best answer for it. But it's like I would seem to be the best candidate.
And
a
you're not.
a lifelong Apple user, not a big PC guy.
Yeah.
Love my iPhone. You know, my wife plays on her Hearthstone on her iPad all day. But it's just we're just not like, oh, finally more games are coming to my phone. It's like there are millions of games to buy.
Okay.
So-
That's an interesting
I
perspective.
think-
But I'm sorry. One last thing is it is kind of it's like editor's choice.
Now I
it is
feel like we're on
kinda
a
nice.
sports radio show. I
It
love
is
it.
kind of nice knowing. It is kind of nice Apple being like check these out.
Yes.
These are headline. These
sure,
are a big
sure,
deal.
And they
There's
picked
something
good ones
special.
too. And from what I've seen from their list is they've done a good job of curating and
seems that way,
finding
yeah.
actual good games.
Brandon does.
Sorry, Blood, you had one?
No, I think this may be too kind of like let's kind of protect ourselves in a way because there is so much rumbling and like legislation in different parts of the world, and like if countries start locking down microtransactions and loot boxes and stuff like that, it's like, okay, now we've got a backup plan.
It's a funny perspective.
Very
know?
cool. Yeah.
Sure. Because I do wonder what their incentive is as opposed to Game Pass, where the secret plan of Game Pass is to get people who buy those games to keep spending money within those games, right? Like Gears 5. And so this doesn't have that at all. And so it seems like Apple's somehow happy with the $5 a month. And so it does seem like they've got to have some other incentive. And so maybe
Well,
it's
and
something like that, Blood.
The thing that I'm curious about is because Apple's not, they're not known for being overly generous with, outside partners. Like Netflix cut them off because they were taking the 30% Apple tax, right, through iTunes and everything. And it's just like, I really, really wonder how much, you get for having your game on this.
Oh,
like, how do they pay
I
you
get
as a
that,
dev?
as a developer, yeah.
Because it's like it can't be that much. $5 a month, like.
Yeah.
I wonder how well they treated this first
Yeah.
round of developers as opposed to
Right.
the long run.
Well,
If
that's
you got
the thing.
Shantae, like they're treating you well, man.
It's a
For
loss
launch, though.
leader for sure.
Launch specifically.
Yes. Yeah.
Loss leader for sure.
Yeah. I bet you're right. I bet they're getting better rates now than they will 3 years from now, most likely.
Yeah.
That's an interesting idea. Next one's from Robert Cassidy, but
Oh,
this
wait,
had go
one-
ahead.
Sorry, one other little tiny thing. I was just looking at the website. They had a really funny thing in their bullet points that said, "You decide whether or not to share your personal data."
Yeah.
And I don't know if that means with Apple or with the developers or who, but I just thought that was really funny to be one of their like big bullet points.
You know what? That's another reason why it's $5. They
Yeah.
love that personal data.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what that is right there.
But like pretty much everyone chooses no,
I bet not.
I suppose.
I bet not. If that's like you could choose, but like we're gonna have it there, and you're gonna have to click no.
Right.
You know,
Every
yeah.
time.
Yeah. That's
Ben
funny.
was playing Apple Arcade earlier today, I think.
Oh yeah.
I saw him on his phone. I was like, "Why are you playing on your phone?" And he
Ben's
was
a
like, Apple
slick
Arcade.
man. He's on this stuff.
Yeah.
He's got that
Exit
new
the
iOS
Gungeon he
13.
was
Man,
playing.
that guy. Okay. He's always on
Yeah.
top of this stuff, man. When you say I do not thirst for more games, Ben has a thirst that cannot be quenched.
It's out of control.
Insatiable.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Thank you. It's the
I
word I
mean,
was looking for. Insatiable.
Yeah, every week there's some game that like nobody was planning to play like at the beginning of the month, and like Ben's like, "Hey, did we get that?" And like,
Yep.
"What? Aren't you like stacked right now?" I'm not-
Or the unsolicited codes. You know, it's just like unsolicited codes for this JRPG. Like, I'll take it.
Next one comes from Robert Cassidy. Now this is one that had a lot of likes and had a lot of people who said, "I also need to know this." This is a popular submission. I must hear the panel's thoughts on Sirfetch'd. That is all. Panel, how do we feel? What are our thoughts on Sirfetch'd?
Proud.
Blood, do you know what Sirfetch'd is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're looking at me like I'm crazy right now.
I don't know. Like
Just
thoughts.
piecing it all together.
What are your thoughts on Sirfetch'd?
I don't know that I have thoughts.
That's a thought.
I guess.
The celery thing he holds became a sword?
Yes.
A
Yeah.
lance.
Has a shield.
A lance, like a
Oh.
knight hanging out on a. So if you're just as lost as I assumed Bloodworth is, but isn't actually, Sirfetch'd is the evolution of Farfetch'd, just announced for Pokemon Sword this week. Farfetch'd
Exclusively.
exclusively to
Just for
Sword. Farfetch'd is a Pokemon from the original Red and Blue. Had never
Wait,
really...
he's only in Sword?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've
You were
we've
gonna
swapped
get
our versions.
You were
but
going to get Shield
He's
before.
yeah, he's doing
swapped.
Sword now. I'm doing Shield.
Oh my God.
This made me
Just want to
swap.
let you know this, so
Yep.
doesn't upset your plans.
Yes, if the codes come in, you have to give Jones Sword. You have to give him Shield, excuse me.
Right.
But yes, I didn't
Well, no,
realize it was an evolution. I thought it was just like some kind of weird variant of the region or something like that.
That ended with apostrophe D? So you thought there was some relationship with Farfetch'd,
Right.
but you didn't think it was an evolution?
Right.
Who am I talking to right now? Damiani, what is your thought on Sirfetch'd?
This is the second special evolution, not for Farfetch'd, but they did another one before. I'm forgetting what it was, Kyle.
The Wheezing. That's got the
Wheezing,
top
yeah,
hat. Yes.
that Wheezing.
Yes.
So I expected a few more of these. It's just
I
funny.
bet there are more coming, yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be more coming. It's funny. It's Farfetch'd. So here's the thing.
Okay.
I saw an image. I saw it was announced. I saw everyone demanding to know your reactions, Kyle.
Yes.
I was knee deep in stuff and couldn't really read anything up on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know anything about Sirfetch'd. Like
Sure.
I just knew it looked like a knight. I'm assuming it's. So you said like it's gonna. Is it exclusive to this one version?
Sword.
Sword.
So
yeah.
it is.
Sword exclusive, dude. Yep.
Interesting. You went sword instead of shield. Because thinking knight. I guess it could be.
He has a
either.
big shield, and he does not have the sword.
Okay. I mean, yeah, lance, and yeah, I don't. I don't know what to think other than everything today has just been. We need Kyle's immediate reactions to this.
Yeah.
We need to hear what Kyle thinks
'cause,
about
yeah,
this because this is Kyle's favorite Pokemon.
More context is
or
Farfetch'd
evolution.
is my favorite
Yeah.
Pokemon. Yes, and has been for many, many, many years. And so to have an evolution to that. Go
That
ahead.
was one. Why was it glitched out on the page? Was that just trolling or
They were
something?
teasing.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
were
Oh,
teasing.
okay.
So they
Have
had,
they done
they
that
had some weird
before, or
teasers.
is this the
No.
first time? Okay, because I thought it was good, like when we talked about this earlier.
Yes.
Before we knew what this was, I totally thought this would be a glitch Pokemon.
Got you, yeah.
But then you had your theory, and I looked at it again. I'm like, okay, I actually can kind of see it might be that, and that
Yeah.
just seems like there's some credibility there. Just such a weird way, but I
Wait,
got everyone's
what was
attention.
what was your theory before it came out?
Oh, I thought it was evolution of missing. No,
What did you think, Kyle?
I thought it was Sirfetch'd.
He got it right.
You said the name Sirfetch'd?
It leaked. So the
Yeah.
name Sirfetch'd had already
Oh.
leaked.
Well, that's cheating.
Yeah, it was absolutely cheating. And so yeah. It's it was something I knew was coming, but it's just such a nice little thing to have. So that's the panel's impression. Let's-
Interesting to go from Farfetch'd to a knight. You
Yeah.
know? Like
But
you'd
I
think
think
you'd
it's
get
'cause
like
it's-
goofier.
It's like holding that leak didn't make any sense, and now it kind of does because
Right.
it's been like practicing the
It
whole
grows.
It's such a
Yeah.
weird idea. It's like really,
It's a beauty.
it's like a really out there
That is
idea.
really
It's like
nice.
really inconceivable, or like
Okay.
it's like hard to believe.
No, this is what I hate. I hate this.
It's like weird.
It's because, Jones, here's a pet peeve. This is a rock hard pet peeve. When people use Pokemon's names and call them puns, when it's just like, that's just the Pokemon's name. And so they would be like, that would be Farfetch'd. It was like, that's the thing's name.
Can't do that.
Dude, that's not a pun. There's no twist on that. That doesn't qualify as a pun.
I don't think Blood knew what I was doing.
So, last one I want to, you know what? You all got me feisty. It just
Like, I
happens.
think we should just unleash something here.
Even when we're talking about good
How much
Pokemon
power we
news,
got?
I
Oh,
get
we got
feisty.
time. We got time.
Yes.
We got time.
I want to do. This is a really interesting art. This is not an article, but an entry, and it's from a unique perspective, and I think this is cool. All right, hello, allies. I feel like people are speaking on my behalf about something I disagree with, but I don't know if I have the right to be upset about it. I'm disabled in a way that affects both my ability to handle a right joystick and my ability to focus for extended periods of time. Despite this, I love difficult games, even if they have no easy mode. I accept that there are games I'm unable to play and experience. I recently finished every Soulsborne game, excluding Demon's Souls, and culminating with Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Sekiro, in particular, was a struggle to get through, and I had to face my demons and push through on harder boss fights. It felt amazing when I got into the rhythm and they eventually fell, especially because it's harder for me than others. Every time I thought I couldn't do it, I pushed on, wanting to see what lies over the next horizon. There is no security in easier modes, and so if I wanted to finish, I had no choice but to adapt. That added motivation helped me get through it and made victory all the more sweeter. And yet, There are games in which I need to turn the difficulty down, particularly shooters on consoles and bullet hells, as well as games that I can't enjoy without stress unless I turn the difficulty subnormal. I've been told that even though I have that disability, it is wrong for me to advocate for games that choose to forgo an easy mode because it is unfair to people with disabilities. That hurt and felt like my own lived experiences weren't valid, but I understand there are people who want to play Sekiro for the story and environment but can't. Or they get stuck and can't finish, and that's upsetting. Am I in the wrong for contradicting this opinion? Do my own experiences not matter in this context? All the love and respect, V.
Everyone's experiences matter.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know, everyone should weigh in on this. Mm-hmm. I've talked a lot on this podcast. I have thoughts.
Sure.
Specifically about this.
Oh, dig in then. Go ahead.
I think we're ready to handshake on this issue. I think we've done it. It's like I'm playing Clue. I put all the clues together. I know who's in that envelope. Because there just seems to be this like backwards, this loop that everyone's getting in on Twitter. So you have like the people who think, no, developers should be able to do whatever they want. These games don't. Death Stranding doesn't need easy mode. You know, like these games should do whatever they want. Don't hamstring the developers into producing the game that you want them to make. And then you have people with disabilities, people who don't like super difficult games, people who want that Assassin's Creed, not Odyssey, but Origins, library mode where you just run around and learn about all that stuff. I think there is a medium ground we can find where people can write articles and make tweets saying it would be great if developers would add more easy modes. Like, I would just want that to happen. Developers, I hope you hear me saying that because I hope you do it. But I'm not going to be mad at you for not doing it because that is your artistic prerogative. You get to make the game. I always think about Stanley Parable, which is like, doesn't really come up, but I think is difficult in its own way. There's not really like a correct way to play Stanley Parable. Like, there are games that have not necessarily like difficulty, but do hold you back from stuff very intentionally. And it's the question of like not only just it being difficult, but me just having access to all of the content. It's kind of up to those developers. Whereas the people who are like, no, let developers do what they want. Like, let people write articles is fine. Like, let people just talk about it. Just share their experience and talk about their own, what they want out of games. It's like, that's how articles work. That's how news works. That's how journalists do their job. So it's like, I think both sides need to kind of understand that the other side is just going to do what they do, and that's okay as long as you aren't angry at developers for not changing that stuff and angry at people for writing articles.
Yeah.
That's the acquisition both sides I think need to make in order for us to like understand that there will be games released, that From Software is going to do what From Software is going to do. But you're also going to have people like Kojima that are maybe going to push the whole concept forward about what an easy mode means. So there. That's my
Jones, I like that, dude. That sounded prepared.
Because I just see these loops. I just see people being like, here's my article. And it's like, they should do what they want to do. And it's like, I agree. I didn't say that in my article. It's like, but I just feel that way about this opinion in general. I'm sorry I didn't read your article. And then like, they kind of agree.
Yeah.
It's just like you get, people get angry when they're like, I'm disabled and you're not listening to my story. You're not listening to my experience because you don't have these issues. And people are like, well, you're not listening to me because this is my favorite developer and I'm angry that you're changing my developer. You're changing the series that I love.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, they're both kind of valid. It's just...
Yeah.
These people in the middle who are like, I will always be angry at you for taking your stance on it.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. It's sad to see.
One thing they do think is interesting that they use the term not having the security of being able to fall back. And I think that's the one thing that, like the argument for not having that difficulty setting there is like, yeah, it's like, like you don't, it's like, the people arguing for that, like they don't trust themselves to not go down to that level. It's like, all right, this is too hard. I'm just gonna put it on easy. It's just like when we get this Super NES library, it's like rewind. It's like you have to like force yourself to not rewind because even though you didn't have that option back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was well written. I really like that perspective, and I could understand why it'd be frustrating for someone like V, for other people to be like, "Well, just think about disabled people," and V's like, "I beat it. I did this." You know what I mean? I get both perspectives. I totally get that. Yeah, and Jones, I just like the way you said that, man. It's just the handshake, right? Yeah. It's just I think that's the way to do that. Is just don't be mad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, some people,
Generally, it's the main thing of the internet. Just don't be mad.
Sometimes, express your opinions if you are angry at something somebody said. But I like that perspective. I think that's what this conversation needs is just people being like, not like, here's what needs to happen. It's like, here's where I'm coming from.
Yes.
Here's where Brandon's coming from. I played Bloodborne and loved it. I played Sekiro and stopped because I was like, I can't do this. This, especially now with like, a baby's cry pulling me out of every single game that I want to play. Like I want to play games like Ultimate Alliance where I'm just like doop special ability.
Yeah.
Whereas like this big bull comes out and wipes me, and it's like I can't go through 20 minutes of getting to him to then die again.
That's fair.
And that's
dude,
just where I'm
yes.
at right now.
I get that.
Where I think about something like God of War, and it's like I liked God of War because I finished it, but then there were still things I could do that were crazy difficult, insane, like that I
Valkyries.
tried once and was
Yes.
like, woof.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad I tried that. That was fun. But I
too.
but
Dude,
I
me
still
too,
don't feel
yeah.
like I missed out on God of War. And it's
Yeah.
like I'm looking for that happy medium, but I'm not going to tell Sony Santa Monica what to do. I'm not going to tell From Software what to do. It's more fun just seeing what they do and then talking about it later.
Yeah.
I hope we can do that without like being mean to each other.
Great.
I liked what you said about opinion and stuff. There's a weird thing that's happened in society now where in like the discourse where people have forgotten that like everything you say pretty much is your opinion, and everything you hear other people saying pretty much is their opinion. And so you just have to like process it that way. And then like issues like this where it comes from like a lot of it comes from like a good place, I think, like people who are trying to advocate on the behalf of other people who have different experiences. Like it's a hard thing to do, but it's like you need to, like, one of the things they teach you, like, like relationship therapists or whatever always say is like use I statements, like when
Yeah.
you do this I feel this, and it's like the entire society needs to start using I statements where it's like I feel this about this, I'm not really sure, everyone just needs to be more gentle with their terminology.
It's a sign of weakness though, so it's so hard. I think
Yeah.
Twitter should put I think on the front of every tweet.
yeah
I think ... It
That's
just automatically
amazing.
does it. If you want to use Twitter, that's the way it works.
That's
you
gold,
can't-
Jones.
You cannot make any declarative statements.
That's solid gold, dude.
That's really good.
It's now time for bets. Next week's bet, there will be a new PlayStation State of Play on Tuesday, September 24th at 1 p.m.
Yes.
1 p.m. Pacific time. What is the release date for The Last of Us Part 2? If you don't believe there will be one, say so. Brandon Jones.
February 26th.
Daniel Bloodworth.
March 17th.
Michael Damiani.
May 5th, 2020.
Ooh.
February 14th, 2020.
Get away
Ian
from my
Hink.
Animal Crossing. Get away.
Not announced.
All right.
Oh, yes.
I'm glad there was one not announced. I'm happy about that. Last week's bet.
So how far away from the other does it have to be to count towards not announced, or is it just if they announce it, then he just loses?
Yes, it's that.
Yeah.
I mean, if they don't say a date.
Yeah. And then if
like
they
a
have a
date,
date, the other of us wins.
Yeah.
Oh, so sorry,
yeah,
Blood.
like-
If they say spring 2020, Ian wins.
Ah, yeah, that's
Fair.
fair.
Nice.
Yes.
All right.
Love it. Love this bet.
Borderlands 3 released Friday, September 12th. At this point right now, how many Twitch viewers will this game have? Ian is looking at it right now. Jones, you bet 80K. Damiani, you bet 110. Brad bet 22K. I bet 41K. Ian bet 10K. Ian, right now, how many viewers live on Twitch are there for Borderlands 3?
Looking. Where's the? I always forget where the game list is.
Browse. Yeah, that's
okay,
right
there we go. There we go.
Okay, so we have Modern Warfare with 91K.
23,006.
Brad had
23.6K.
22K, man.
Oh,
Wow,
Wow, Brad.
Nice.
Let's see who the number one streamer of Borderlands 3 is.
Brad's got the
always
most
like to do this.
wins on.
Destructoid.
Destructoid, you're getting those 5K streamers. Not bad, dudes.
Nice.
You know what's weird is didn't Anthony Birch used to work at Destructoid?
Yeah.
Ha.
Oh, and he also, does he, wait,
He
did
didn't
he
do
write for
Borderlands 3 though.
I don't think-
No,
no,
he
just
did
now.
two.
Just
Yeah.
Not three.
I think he moved on.
He's doing something crazy right now.
What?
Like, he announced some partnership with. He's writing something.
What?
He's partnering with somebody to do something insane.
Don't tease.
Like George Romero or something. I don't know. He announced some partnership creatively with a writer. He like.
Ian, I'm afraid we also have to.
I'm trying.
Sorry. No, I thought Ian. I'm putting a spotlight on you, Ian. I thought you might know.
I mean, I was at a party where he was the other day, but I didn't really talk to
Yeah.
him much.
That brings our score to Scrappy Little Pigs 20. Gorgeous Gorillas 19.
Oh, I thought they'd be even. Okay, we're ahead.
Nipping at her hooves, dude. Nipping at her hooves.
Close.
That Brad Ellis, man.
Yeah, he gets those points.
bets,
Dude,
good
his
bets.
bet
That
was
guy.
22 and it was 23 point. Well, man, come on.
Nailed it.
Let me tell everyone about patreon.com/easyallies. That would be the website you want to go to if you want to learn more and support the Easy Allies. People who give $5 or more a month to the Easy Allies get this podcast 2 days early. They get to see this on Fridays as opposed to Sundays when this goes public for everybody.
And corrections moved. This show is evolving, folks.
You know what? I had it in the rundown at the end of the podcast. And
Holy
then
shit.
I was getting the corrections. And there were so many people who said, stop this, that I just moved it to the beginning of the podcast.
Holy shit's right. Did you just see what it is?
I think this might be, he's maybe writing a comic with John Carpenter?
Yes, that's it. It's like a sequel to something.
Yeah, I think
It's
I
like
knew
it's
about-
like
I
John
think I knew
Carpenter
about
being
this.
like, "Oh,
Yeah,
come
yeah.
back to this property and do a badass thing," and like he's like, "Yeah, it's me and him that are writing this." Like, what?
That's pretty
Carpenter's
crazy.
goat, man. I feel such a kinship with John Carpenter, man.
Help me then. The Thing.
The Thing, Escape from
Halloween.
New York.
Oh, cool.
Halloween, yeah.
Ghost of Mars.
Ghost of yeah, well, yeah.
You shut up,
Escape from
Damiani.
LA.
He's
Like,
working with the Ghost of Mars guy.
Yeah, that got some Mars guy.
Big Trouble in Little China. He's that fun mix of like really, really talented, has made some absolutely memorable stuff, and just full goofball. His DVD commentaries are legendarily just fly right off the rails.
Cool.
I think it's Big Trouble in Little China. He and Kurt Russell talk about their kids for like 10 minutes, and they're like, we should probably talk about the movie. And they're like, but that's cool for you to hear that because we're friends. We've been friends for 20 years. Like, we just get together and talk about stuff.
I imagine that Anthony Birch is the kind of person who also loves these movies and could like walk into a conversation with John Carpenter and say like, "Oh yes, I love this about."
I
this
think
and
it's
love this."
Big Trouble. I think it's Old Jack.
Yeah, that was the comic that they made before. I think.
Oh,
they're
so maybe
doing
it's something
another
else.
one.
Yeah.
This
Cool.
didn't say.
Birch is, killing it. Good family.
Damiani, you are in Brad's seat, but I can't give it to you because you also bet last week
Yeah.
and had the worst
Very fair.
possible bet.
Very fair.
You said 110K. Like, yeah, if we're talking about Modern
Wow.
Warfare, maybe, dude.
Never know. You want to know why I guessed that?
Yes.
I thought maybe Gearbox would like pay
Yes.
big Twitch people to make it a big deal week 2.
I mean, I had a bad bet too, dude.
And
I
they-
thought
Dude,
it-
Gorilla's one,
yes.
man. He's covering the spread.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I get it, dude. Is Borderlands 3 a huge success?
I don't know.
Yeah, didn't they put out a thing that's saying it was like way bigger than 2 or something? They definitely bragged about it.
The message was it has more peak players than Borderlands 2 did on Steam. It has twice as many.
Okay.
But like, I don't.
I don't know what that means.
We'll see.
I mean, I don't know what that translates to.
NPDs, we'll see when it comes.
We will.
So, Blood, you're going to get the right and responsibility to share a Twitter handle with the world. You get to promote any Easy Eyes video you want to promote. You get the final word on anything you've disagreed with, want to reiterate, or just popped into your head. And you get to sign off with your trademark sign off.
Oh man. I feel so unprepared for all of this.
Oh, this guy. So bashful.
I don't know. No, I'm just not good with point blank stuff.
You know your Twitter handle.
Yeah, my Twitter handle is @deeploader2.
Great. Video you want to promote.
Video I want to promote is
Maybe a review Jones worked really hard on or something? Is that what the eyes you're giving him?
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited to see now
Got
what.
it, okay. Jones was giving Blood the eyes.
I'm excited. He's got a lot of. Blood knows all the videos we put up.
True, very
right.
true.
Blood sees all.
I'll do Mysterious Monsters, even though I haven't got to watch it. I recommend.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
good.
then this
I've
one's
heard.
good.
I've heard
Yeah.
some good.
It's
Yeah, good
Last
reports.
good
episode.
It's
so
good.
good.
it's like a concept fulfilling episode.
Yes, it is.
I imagine you and Jason being like, yes, like the whole time.
We definitely were.
Fight. It's good.
I have additional information about Borderlands 3 fact that you were pulling a second ago, Kyle. Not
need
to
it.
derail this.
Before Blood's final word, yeah, drop it on us.
Forbes is where I'm finding this information. They're framing it as a like, hey, Epic Game Store doesn't really tank your sales. That's how they're framing it.
Oh.
But it's based on a tweet from Randy Pitchford saying, fun fact, on PC, the data is that launch day peak concurrent players of Borderlands 3 is about twice as high as all-time peak concurrent players for Borderlands 2. So, like, Forbes is then saying, like, hey, Epic Game Store didn't affect their sales. If anything, it made it better.
Okay.
But, I mean, like, that wasn't... It was just an interesting spin that Forbes put on it. Anyway, that was the fact.
Ian, thank you so much. Really good stuff this episode.
Is that sarcastic?
It is not.
Oh, okay. You're welcome.
And also during E3, like, you flew in with some hot opinions, too. It's not always just fact-checking. It's good stuff.
My secret is that I'm always mad, Kyle.
Yeah.
About E3.
Blood, you had so much time to come up with your final thought. I'm really excited
Right.
to hear what it is.
I think that Sony will be at E3, And the reason that I think it was just a one-off thing is because they skipped everything. They skipped doing a Gamescom conference as they have for the past few years, but they also skipped doing any kind of Paris Games Week thing. They skipped doing a PSX. They skipped doing a TGS conference. They just skipped 2019 aside from doing State of Plays. So yeah, I think PlayStation 5 will be announced, and then I think they'll have a good-sized presence at E3. And we'll see you before the next Blood Moon rises.
What I'm not a humongous fan of is Final Fantasy VII. What I am a huge fan of is marketing campaigns.
Sexy.